Another news update from our Niger Gist. Watch till the end and do not forget to share, subscribe if you are on YouTube or follow on Facebook.
The second in the State House. Well, it was not clear what occasioned what you could describe as the August visit. However, there are suggestions that the meeting is geared at formally congratulating the president on his coming into office, as well as deliberations on key national issues. But one particular visit to the State House today further aroused curiosity about which names will make it to the president's ministerial list. And that's a visit by former governor of Lagos State, Mr. Ambode, who met with the president for the second time in less than 2 weeks after the Lagos State reception, you might recall, which was organized for President Tinubu, who, of course, is also a former governor of Lagos State. And that meeting, or that particular reception, took place on June the 29th. And the perceived return of Mr. Ambode to mainstream of Lagos and national politics has given life to rumors and permutations that the president may just be considering him for an appointment in his government. Well, the president also received the governor of Kaduna State, Oba at the presidential villa.
Presidential Election Petition Court, PEPC, has reserved judgment in the petition filed by the Allied People's Movement, APM. APM is seeking the nullification of Tinubu's election on the grounds that his running mate, Kashim Shettima, was not qualified to contest, having allegedly engaged in double nomination. After parties adopted their final written addresses, the chairman of the panel, Justice Haruna Samani, announced that judgment was reserved until a date to be communicated to the parties. Justice Samani added that the court plans to deliver judgment in the petition by the APM the same day with those of the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party. The Alliance Party, Mr. Ahwaje, is calling on the youth to contribute their quota to the development of the party and the nation. Speaking in Abuja, Mr. Ahwaje confirms that the Independent National Electoral Commission has recognized him as a genuine chairman of the party following a court order. The chairman also appeals to the aggrieved members of the party to unite in the interest of the party for the nation's development.
The same INEC that now brought a mediator into this matter, and at the end of the day, the mediators still say that this is the authentic leadership of
which was delivered last year. That's on December the 29th. Well, Justice Kawu also made an order setting aside any warrant of arrest obtained or procured by the respondents, especially the DSS, for the arrest of Mr. Emefiele in connection with the allegations of terrorism financing, fraudulent practices, money laundering, threat to national security before any court. And the court granted an injunction restraining the respondents, particularly the DSS, from arresting, detaining, or interfering with his personal liberty or freedom. So the court finally gave an order directing and mandating the DSS to forthwith release Mr. Emefiele from any arrest or detention. Tell you that the DSS has now charged him, but not in the nation's capital, Abuja, as some had expected. The DSS is reported to have charged him at a court here in Lagos State. Of course, it's a developing story, and we'll bring you more updates. There you see the arrest of Mr. Emefiele
And they think Mr. Godwin Emefiele was a culprit and he should be punished. But unless you bring charges against him and allow him to have his say in court, you really cannot pronounce him guilty.
In World Bank loan, and so another 500 billion naira from the 2022 supplementary budget. That letter, in fact, was read on the floor of the House 2 days ago. So 8,000 monthly, that's 8,000 naira monthly to 12 million households over 6 months in the mode of digital transfers. In fact, it was read on the floor of the House by the Speaker. I'd like you to take a listen to this one, and we'll get into the conversation.
Request for the amendment of the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act. I write to request the approval of the House of Representatives for the amendment of the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act in accordance with the attached. The request has become necessary in order to, among other things, source for funds necessary to provide palliatives to mitigate the effect of the recent removal of fuel subsidy on Nigerians. Thus, the sum of 500 billion naira only has been extracted from the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act of 819,536,937,815 naira only for the provisions of palliatives to Nigerians to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal. While I hope that the House of Representatives will consider this request expeditiously, please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest consideration.
So let's put this into proper perspective, right? That supplementary budget was actually introduced by the previous government, the Muhammadu Buhari administration, and it was particularly to solve the issues of flooding, to provide succor, rebuild infrastructure as a result of the floodings which we saw last year. Of course, very sad tales from that particular flooding, over 800 billion naira. And now President Tinubu has asked for 500 billion naira from that supplementary budget. That's on the one hand. He's also sought approval for the $800 million World Bank loan. That's approximately about 600 billion naira. And that's a breakdown of just what we're faced with as a nation in terms of the households, the number of people in the households, and what have you. So together, 500 billion naira plus 600 billion naira, that's about 1.1 trillion naira. And it's expected that all of this will be geared towards the 8,000 naira per month monthly transfer to 12 million poor and low-income households over a 6-month period.